Educational GMAT. Your partner in your GMAT journey.
Not an easy one to start with. In any case, we do difficult questions in the class. All right. Are you guys done reading the argument? So tell me, what is the one word that should capture your attention? Very nice. Very nice, Andrea. Average. We just discussed this a couple of slides back. Average homework. Now, these things like average, percentage, proportion, these should immediately grab your attention. So it says that the average homework for children under 12 is just little more than 30 minutes per night. And hence the argument is saying that basically there is no reason to put any limitation on the amount of homework assigned to school children younger than 12. Right? Okay, now what is also important in these questions is, notice it says, which of the following, if true, would most seriously call into question the educational theorist's conclusion? Tell me what is, notice this entire thing is by educational theorist. What is the conclusion of educational theorist?
That homework in large quantities severely.
Can you repeat, Prakash?
That homework in large quantities severely restrict children's free time, hindering their development.
No. So that is something that educational theorist does not disagree with. The educational theory does not disagree that homework in large quantities can severely restrict children's free time. The educational theorist is not disagreeing with this. The educational theorist is saying that homework in large quantities is actually not given to students, because the average time that is required to complete this homework is just almost around 30 minutes, right? So the educational theorist is saying that editorial's rationale cannot justify the restriction that they advocate. What is the restriction that editorials advocate? Lesser homework should be given. This is what the editorials are saying. Educational theorist is saying not required, because the average homework is anyway almost around 30 minutes only, which gives children a lot of time to engage in free activities. Prakash, is this clear?
Yes, sir. Got it.
All right. Okay, here are the answer choices, friends. Which one? Very nice. Very nice. That was really quick, my dear friend Pranesh. Very nice. So again, it's very clear it's very important that you understand what we are looking for. I will repeat this. Educational theorist is saying that there is no cap on homework that is required. And we have to weaken this. So which means we have to look for an option that says that there is a cap on homework that is required, right? We have to look for an option that suggests that there is some cap on homework that is required. Which option suggests that? In other words, we have to look for an option that says that indeed children are being given a lot of homework, and that's the reason some cap on this homework needs to be. All right, Charlie, David, some homework assignments are related to free time activities that children engage in. Okay, all right. Well, I would argue that C perhaps is not the best candidate, frankly, because of the word some. As you know, sum is 1% to 100%. So we don't get any definitive clue from that. Okay, so well, now notice what David is saying is a substantial portion of school children under 12. Notice we are talking about under 12 here, right? Particularly those in their first few years at school have less than 10 minutes of homework assigned per night. So those in the very first few years in school. So this is what I have come up with. First few years in school, which means let's say 3 to 6 years, and then 6 to 12 years. Suppose 100 children in this group, 200 children in this group. What David is saying is that these children have less than 10 minutes of homework assigned per night. So let's say this group of students is just getting 8 minutes of homework per night. Now, notice the argument says that for students lesser than 12, the average is little more than 30 minutes. Little more than 30 minutes, I have taken as 32.6. So if this is only 8, then the remaining students would have 45 minutes of homework per night. So I'm just figuring out the average here. Average homework per child means for all these, right? Who are under 12. How do you calculate that? 100 into 8 plus 200 into 45 divided by the total number of children. So that comes out to be 32.6, which is exactly what the argument was also saying. The average for 300 students is quite manageable. But then the average does not tell you that most of these students are actually getting significantly more than the average. But David mentioned substantial portion. Does that mean substantial portion, right? This is substantial portion. This is from 0 to 12, substantial portion. Okay. Substantial. Okay. So, all right. I think I made a mistake here. By the way, substantial. Okay, got it. Substantial does not mean majority, by the way. Substantial means significant. So out of 300, substantial portion of school children under 12, particularly those in their first few years in school, first few years in school have less than 10 minutes of homework assigned per night. So basically what David says is that there is significant reason why the total homework that is assigned to students should actually come down.